My name's Elliot Lenathan and I'll be presenting today my final music video and all of the pre-production and post-production work that went in doing this. So my original idea was to have Feel Good Inc. by the Gorillaz, but then with the group I was with we found a much better idea for the music video, which was it still kept some of the characteristics which I was looking for in the music video. There's just things such as surrealism and more visual based rather than narrative, and this is evidence here of that happening, obviously the final product. And as we went into pitching the final idea what we had, the idea was to have a light narrative piece that is heavily visually based and also have elements from all our ideas, like pulled together all the best ideas. And we also decided to use a different song towards one that was originally intended, which worked better, I feel, within the idea of the music video. Our final idea is using the song Fantasy by Eternity Forever. This song is R&B/soul influences, and it kind of just like it works well with the surrealism of the music video. In our heads it started in a studio and going towards TV, and you didn't really know what was going on, and then throughout the video things became more clear, and with these surreal images going on you kind of got the meaning behind it. There was more obviously surreal, some of them have like metaphors behind them, and that's kind of what we were going for. With the roles and responsibilities in the music video, I feel that Desi as the DOP would be really good because she's shown her skills as a DOP before, and I think that it would work really well to play to our strengths in this unit. I think I would be good as the director because I know the song personally, so I think I know because I know the song a bit better, I'd be able to tell, I'd be better able at direction during this music video than maybe Desi or Caitlin. And I think Caitlin would be good on lighting just because she's worked well with lighting before, and same as with Desi, I think it's good to play to our strengths during this music video because it's the final unit, so it's better to just put all our kind of eggs in one basket. These things here are recce reports and risk assessments of the places that we went to, the locations. You can't see them very well here, but they're more in detail on the blog website that I'm on. As you can see here, the risk assessment for the shed in one of the scenes. I've also got some notes of filming here. So this was the first time we decided to go out and test shoot, and that was as you can see you could see in one of the background of one of those shots. It was a skyline that was filmed by Desi, and this was one of the test shoots. So it worked out really well, but I think she had autofocus on at first, so it did work out very well. But then through that we realised that we can try something different with the footage, and we sped it up, and it looked quite surreal how it was. And even though it was a mistake to put autofocus on, which we then went and reshot later on, it still worked really well for the peak of the surrealism during the music video, because at that time we could then put this autofocus footage in, and it was quite jarring and quite not very nice, which was what we were going for. We wanted something that felt quite uncomfortable to view because of what our main character was going through, and that was one of the first test shoots that we had, which turned into actual footage. That's just the second test shoot is just the second shooting date is just explaining that we went back and we shot a different and better sunset shot that turned out great because of the night that we went, because the sunset was really beautiful that night. On this date of shooting we went into the studio, and which we'd previously booked out, and in there we shot some of the in studio things that we had planned. We basically got on like a really old television, and in that we constructed like a really surreal sequence where I was like strapped to the TV, and there was all like I was seeing weird things in the television, and that worked really well because of Caitlin's lighting, and Desi's skills as a DOP worked really well together because it was in such a dark room, and the lights we had little neon lights, and they worked really well for the aesthetic quality of the video, which really helped with the lighting. On this date, it was the final filming location. When we got there at the barn, that was we previously scouted it out, and we thought it was alright to film in because it was on like a public footpath thing. So we went back there to film, and we saw that it was being renovated out for whatever reason. It just happened to be renovated that day, so we decided to go to our contingency location, which was a woodland area near my house. We went in and we filmed there, and that was more than satisfactory for the location that we needed. Now I'll just probably go through some of the video and try and explain some of the things that were happening in the video and some of the problems that we had and things like that. So this was one of the bath bomb shots what Desi got. We were in a house, and the bath bomb shots worked really well because they were good as almost transition to something else while being surreal. So it was really good that we didn't have to put any other transitions in. During the editing stage, just as you saw there, that was a good trick where we would mirror over footage with other footage that was delayed by half a second or a second, and that way it'd give like a wavy kind of slow motion feel to it, and I think that worked really well for the surrealism, being in like trapped in different realities kind of thing. I think some of this was good going back to the person in the studio and kind of just being all dazed, and because it gives a perspective for the audience to say, oh look, this is what he's seeing, we're seeing it through his eyes. And then one shot I really enjoy is that one there, where his hand goes into it and then he zooms in and is actually cut to another clip in there what goes into the TV further. But since I put them so close and fast forwarded the footage, it looks like, from the perspective you see it there, it looks like it just goes straight into the TV, into something else. I really like the ending sequence because at the end I put 3 or 4 shots laid over one another, like I said earlier, and like almost like mirrored, and so some of them were see-through and stuff like that. And then gradually, as it was returning to reality, I took the clips that were laid over each other out gradually until there was only one remaining, which was the footage there, which kind of like gave the audience knowledge that it was back to reality now. And then the music video ends. I think the music video worked really well. I wish I could have spent more time on it, but just our time management wasn't very good. It could have been managed a lot better, I think, especially in the editing stages, because I think we didn't realise how much time we'd need to edit since it was such a surreal piece. I also think that it would have been good if we could have got the original location, but we just didn't have the time and things like that.